Tom Jones is a figure recognized by everyone. His vocals, his charisma, his performance charisma. But beneath all that sparkle and allure, there was an individual who affected him profoundly unlike anyone else. His tunes were beloved. His vitality was infectious, and he was extraordinary. But not many were aware of a conflict that haunted him for decades. It wasn't merely a small disagreement. It was a profound, lasting animosity that influenced certain decisions he made in his music and existence. What occurred and with whom is a narrative packed with unexpected twists, and it's one that hardly anyone has learned about. Early years and professional path. Tom Jones came into the world as Thomas John Woodward on June 7, 1940, in Treforest, Wales, from modest origins. His dad, Thomas Woodward, labored in the coal mines, and his mom, Frida, raised him with strong family principles. Tom was primarily English, although he possessed some Welsh heritage from his mother's lineage. As a youth, Tom had a passion for vocalizing, entertaining at relatives' events, nuptials, and school occasions. Music was the sole element that boosted his self-assurance, since academics and athletics never captivated him. At age 12, he was found to have tuberculosis. He endured 2 years restricted to bed rest, relying on tunes and sketching. He would subsequently describe it as the most dreadful phase of his existence. Jones's musical journey truly began in 1963 when he assumed the role of frontman for Tommy Scott and the Senators, a Welsh rhythm group attracting regional notice. Initial solo efforts to record songs with producer Joe Meek didn't succeed. However, destiny soon stepped in. Decca producer Peter Sullivan saw the ensemble performing and linked them with manager Gordon Mills. Mills provided the faltering Thomas Woodward his renowned stage moniker, Tom Jones, inspired by the 1963 blockbuster movie, and propelled him toward stardom. By late 1964, Tom released his debut single, Chills and Fever. It failed to captivate. Yet the follow-up, It's Not Unusual, became an instant global sensation. It topped the UK rankings and cracked the US top 10, swiftly positioning him among the leaders of the British wave. Mills arranged for him to sing theme tracks for multiple movies, including Thunderball and What's New, Pussycat. Tom was at first reluctant about the latter, but Burt Bacharach persuaded him, and it became legendary. His renown soared even higher when he won the Grammy for Best New Artist in 1966. Around then, he encountered Elvis Presley on a Hollywood film set. They formed a friendship. The late 1960s introduced shifts. Jones's appeal diminished, and Mills reimagined him as a crooner, broadening his musical approach. Delilah, I'll Never Fall in Love Again and I'm Coming Home were among the successes that strengthened his standing atop both UK and US charts. Tom also turned into a TV staple with This Is Tom Jones from 1969 to 1971, gaining vast worldwide visibility and a Golden Globe nod. In the 1970s and 1980s, he explored country tunes, appeared in assorted TV movies, and kept entertaining in Las Vegas to sustain his vigor and flair. Ongoing chart comebacks included the 1987 track A Boy From Nowhere and the 1988 rendition of Prince's Kiss alongside Art of Noise, which caught on at MTV. The 1990s and 2000s delivered further triumphs. He earned a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1989, teamed up with Van Morrison, appeared at Glastonbury, and launched hit albums like Reload in 1999. He was knighted in 2006 for contributions to music and persisted with global tours, headlining major gatherings, partnering with emerging talents, and coaching on The Voice UK starting in 2012. Even in his 70s and 80s, Tom Jones kept producing music. He issued albums such as Praise and Blame, Spirit in the Room, and Surrounded by Time, all demonstrating his adaptability and lasting zeal. His profession extends over more than 60 years, with sales exceeding 100 million records globally. From simple origins in a Welsh village to international fame, Tom Jones's tale is one of skill, perseverance, and an eternal affection for music. His private existence. Tom Jones's personal experiences have been as vibrant as his musical ones. He wed his childhood love, Melinda Rose Linda Trenchard, from March 2, 1957, until her passing from cancer on April 10, 2016. They tied the knot at just 16 after learning she was expecting, and their son Mark arrived soon after. During those initial years, Jones took on building work and factory jobs to provide for his young household, well before his fame spread worldwide. Despite numerous publicized romances, he stayed wed to Linda for almost 6 decades, illustrating their connection amid difficult periods. Following her death, he honored her last desire by selling their Los Angeles estate and much of its belongings, keeping precious family pictures and relocating to a flat in London. At his fame's peak, Tom Jones's famed allure and stage aura made him appealing to many, and he openly admitted to intimate encounters with hundreds of women. He claimed to have been with up to 250 admirers annually during his prime. Among his notable liaisons were vocalist Mary Wilson, TV presenter Charlotte Laws, and ex-Miss World Marjorie Wallace. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, actress Cassandra Peterson, once revealed she lost her virginity to Jones in an encounter so intense she required medical stitches. One of Jones's relationships led to a child. On a 1987 U.S. tour, he had a short fling with model Catherine Berkery, who found out she was pregnant. Following a prolonged court fight, DNA tests in 1989 confirmed Jones as the father. He denied it publicly for years but accepted it in 2008, though he never built a bond with his son, Jonathan Berkery, who eventually pursued singing too. In 1974, with a Labour government's election in Britain and a 98% tax rate on income, Jones became a tax exile. By 1976, he acquired a grand home in Los Angeles' Eastgate Bel Air area from Dean Martin for $500,000, later selling it to Nicolas Cage in 1998 for reportedly $6,469 million. He shared a tight bond with his hero Elvis Presley. They first met in 1965 at Paramount Studios during Elvis's filming of Paradise Hawaiian Style. Their friendship blossomed in Las Vegas, with late-night sessions of singing and hanging out until dawn. It endured until Presley's 1977 death. Years later, speculation arose about Jones being involved with Presley's widow, Priscilla. In 2021, Jones clarified they'd known each other since the 1960s but were only pals. In 2015, Jones published his memoir, Over the Top and Back, offering a vibrant peek into his life and profession as a genuine entertainment icon. Reviewers called it fun, encapsulating both the tale of The Voice and the development of British pop and variety entertainment from the 1960s forward. Even lately, Jones has preserved his fitness and energy, disclosing in 2021 that he employs inversion therapy to remain active and vigorous, a sign of his ongoing dedication to maintaining his physique and vocals in prime condition. Tax exile. In the mid-1970s, Tom Jones took a highly debated step that sparked significant controversy back then. He departed the UK and established residence in the United States. The motive? Taxation. Britain's Labour administration had raised the highest income tax to a staggering 98% for unearned earnings like investments, impacting many top celebrities. This steep rate prompted numerous high earners, including Tom Jones, to reconsider staying in Britain. As per his biography, he became a tax exile to evade handing over such a massive share of his income to the UK authorities. In 1976, he publicly demonstrated this by purchasing a lavish home in Los Angeles at 363 Copa de Oro Road in Bel Air from Dean Martin for roughly $500,000. Residing in the US allowed him to keep much more of his earnings than under Britain's harsh rates. His choice drew attention and criticism. To some, it seemed like prioritizing wealth over his native land, money over patriotism. Culturally, he wasn't alone. Other prominent British stars made similar exits to escape exorbitant taxes. Politically, The tax Jones avoided stemmed from labor policies under Prime Minister Harold Wilson. The government boosted the standard top rate to 83%, and with a 15% surcharge on unearned income, it reached that 98% level many found unsustainable. Later, economists observed that such policies drove away affluent individuals, particularly wealthy musicians and performers, seeking friendlier tax climates. Rather than heavily taxing the rich, many simply relocated. For Tom Jones, the shift to America was not only monetary, but personal. He created a life there. Yet it also conveyed a message. When taxes become excessive, even a beloved national figure might seek better options. Viewing it as wise financial strategy or disloyalty to his origins varies by perspective. Controversy surrounding praise and blame. In 2010, Tom Jones released an unconventional album titled Praise and Blame, delving into gospel, blues, and spiritual tracks. But right before its launch, a major uproar erupted, not over the tunes themselves, but due to a label executive's comments. David Sharp, an Island Records VP, allegedly penned a leaked email labeling the project a sick joke. He lamented investing in a veteran artist only to get 12 tracks from the Book of Common Prayer. He anticipated something lively, marketable, sex bomb-esque, not religious songs. Jones was enraged. He openly criticized Sharp, noting he didn't know the man. Some guy who signs checks, as Jones described, but not a creative collaborator. He maintained that the label overall backed the album, and the email falsely implied his team opposed him. The label issued frantic apologies post-backlash and vowed to rectify matters. Jones suggested some thought it was a publicity ploy, but he rejected that as absurd. For Jones, crafting praise and blame was intensely personal. He shared with the Quietus he wasn't aiming for chart toppers. He sought a thematic album, raw and sincere. On his website, he described the stripped-back live recording method as profoundly meaningful. Critics also questioned Jones's 1990s and 2000s partnerships, viewing some duets as commercial rather than creative. His 1999 Reload featured 15 collaborations with artists like Van Morrison, Robbie Williams, Stereophonics, Portishead, and others. While it revived his fame and appealed to youth, some saw it as strategically calculated for relevance, not artistry. His 2002 Mr. Jones, produced by Wyclef Jean, split opinions. Some lauded the innovation, others felt his timeless voice clashed with hip-hop beats. The Guardian implied the blend of Jones's classic style and modern production might have been ill-advised. These team-ups worried long-time purist fans, making his work appear product-like rather than expressive, potentially diluting his genuine voice or heritage. Sexualized performance persona. A highly discussed element of Tom Jones in the 1960s and 1970s was his daring, physical stage presence. He didn't merely vocalize, he shifted, strutted, grooved. That serpentine dynamism wasn't contrived, it became core to his persona. His attire amplified that image. On stage, he frequently donned partially unbuttoned shirts and fitted pants, exposing his torso and exuding sensuality. This aesthetic was partly accidental, Jones explained in a GQ chat. During a sweltering audition, he sweated, shed his jacket. His manager adored it, so they embraced it with custom open shirts. The style wasn't solely for male spectators, it electrified women. At concerts, it was common for undergarments and hotel keys to fly on stage from female fans, but not all approved. Traditional viewers and critics occasionally deemed his acts overly erotic. His suggestive motions and revealing outfits unsettled some, particularly on TV. Jones himself recognized the backlash. In a Guardian discussion, he justified his persona as authentic. The physicality flowed naturally. He sensed the beat, and his body responded. Eventually, he realized how the panty-throwing became ingrained in his image. In a Washington Post interview, he mentioned his son and daughter-in-law, upon managing him, advised stopping the underwear collection on stage. it undermined his serious vocalist credibility. Culturally, his approach clashed with era's conservative norms. In more restrained TV days, he was provocative, open-shirted, emanating eroticism. To some, he overstepped. To others, it was pure magnetism, key to his dominance. In essence, Tom Jones's stage persona transcended vocals. It involved spectacle, allure, and fervor. While idolizing him for many, it ignited debates on stage propriety, fame's form, and performers' sexual expression limits. Memoir feedback. When Tom Jones launched his autobiography, Over the Top and Back, in 2015, it thrilled fans and reviewers. Who better to narrate his turbulent, multi-decade career than The Voice? Yet reviews varied, mainly because it omitted or glossed over some scandalous, contentious life aspects. A frequent critique was Jones's caution on personal matters. Despite documented wild phases, including liaisons and an out-of-wedlock son, the book, per a review, spans his 60 years but avoids extramarital talks, except denying one rumor. Notably, his involvement with model Catherine Berkery and son Jonathan goes unmentioned, surprising given its publicity. The Austin Chronicle observed that while Jones discusses fame, early hardships, and devotion to wife Linda, he avoids dishing dirt. Their critique called it surprisingly chaste, noting admissions of high living without elaboration. Literarily, some found the tone contrived. Washington Post's Adrian Higgins noted career and artistic insights, but candor lacks in vital areas. He highlighted profanity sprinkles, odd for a reflective tone. Possibly ghostwriter influence. Not all feedback was adverse. Kirkus praised engaging reflections on Welsh roots and ascent. Many valued his authentic, sometimes raw, self-aware voice. The audiobook, voiced by Jonathan Pryce, earned praise. Audiophile noted family mentions stay peripheral, emphasizing career over intimate revelations. On Goodreads, readers mirrored this, appreciating storytelling but craving depth on affairs or tough times, yet finding it engaging. Over the Top and Back paints a warm, often funny, mostly upbeat portrait of Tom Jones. It honors his rise from working-class Welsh youth to worldwide icon, pondering key moments. But for those seeking controversial or private insights, it might seem polished. Seeing it as dignified strength or evasive weakness hinges on expectations, his fortune. Tom Jones isn't solely a renowned vocalist, he's immensely rich. His wealth is approximated at $300 million. He's built this over years via album sales, international concerts, TV spots, and astute song licensing. A major wealth source is his catalog. Classics like It's Not Unusual, Delilah, and Green Grass of Home still yield royalties from streams, radio, films, and ads. Touring contributes hugely. From massive tours to extended Vegas stints, his demand persists. In 1976, he bought a vast Los Angeles mansion at 363 Copa de Oro Road in Bel Air for $500,000, selling it in 1998 for about $6,469 million, a shrewd financial step. Real estate investments have flourished. Jones stays current, coaching on The Voice UK and touring, bolstering income. In his 80s, he earns millions yearly from performances and catalog. Beyond singing, he's business savvy, treating music as enterprise, not mere hobby, securing enduring financial security. Overall, Tom Jones's riches mirror his vast talent and clever earnings management across a lengthy triumph. Enduring feud. Over decades, Tom Jones harbored an intense feud with Engelbert Humperdinck, firmly uninterested in resolution. It began non-hostile. They shared manager Gordon Mills and label in the 1960s. But what started as amicable rivalry soured deeply. In a 2015 interview, Jones dropped a bomb, calling Humperdinck once a cack, always a cat. He reinforced the ire, labeling him a prick and stating, "We fell out years ago," rejecting reconciliation. Humperdinck responded, expressing regret over the feud, pitying Jones's grumpiness. He's offered olive branches, like a 2013 tweet proposing a duet for Mills, unanswered. The feud's origin remains murky. Reports suggest competition intensified under Mills, worsening when Humperdinck left the label. Jones's resentment persists. In 2024, he dismissed mending ties, calling Humperdinck a pierce and saying, "There's nothing friendly between us." Thus, the person Tom Jones appears to loathe is likely Engelbert Humperdinck. Their animosity dates far back, showing no thaw, with Jones's statements underscoring his profound disdain. Engelbert's reply. When Tom Jones publicly assailed Engelbert Humperdinck with harsh labels, Engelbert avoided retaliation or insults. He remained remarkably compassionate, expressing pity for Tom and noting, "Life is too brief to harbor resentment." Rather than engaging in public bickering, Engelbert stepped back, declining to fuel the acrimony. He even extended good wishes, demonstrating unwillingness to extend the conflict. Amid tensions, Engelbert consistently praised Tom's abilities. He conceded their strained ties but deeply admired Tom's singing accomplishments. He deemed the feud regrettable, highlighting the irony of discord between similar figures. Though friendship eludes them, Engelbert has affirmed Tom as a top voice of their era, meriting acclaim. Lately, Engelbert chose the moral high ground. In interviews, he voiced no grudge-holding and extended reconciliation offers, leaving acceptance to Tom. He emphasized avoiding prolonged strife, deeming anger unworthy. His demeanor remains respectful and composed, illustrating graceful conflict handling despite long-standing rivalry. Ultimately, Engelbert's responses reveal his nature. For each of Tom's public barbs, Engelbert offered understanding and poise over aggression. He recognized their shared legacy, but refused feud definition. Prioritizing regard over bitterness, Engelbert transcended the turmoil, upholding his image as a skilled performer and dignified individual. Tom Jones's existence and profession conclude as a narrative of extraordinary endurance, transformation, and intense emotional force. From modest Welsh starts to one of pop's most legendary vocals, his path reveals more than ability. It's about resolve and spirit. He's never coasted on past glory. Decades into fame, Tom has continually advanced. Instead of repeating hits, he's explored soulful blues, gospel anthems, intimate renditions. That growth drive, even later, shows he doesn't merely enjoy singing, he requires it for self-expression. His career navigated peaks and valleys, losing key partners, adapting to music shifts, enduring profound loss. Yet he's channeled them into creativity. Recent works address aging, sorrow, remembrance with seasoned poise. What inspires in Tom Jones's tale is his root fidelity. He admits imperfections, regrets, frailties, while delivering resonant shows bridging generations. Now he persists, undiminished. His voice stays lush and evocative. He discovers fresh challenges. On stage, recording, or conversing, he embodies an artist who've merited every tone. Ultimately, Tom Jones's heritage transcends top songs. Its longevity, reinvention, music devotion, he's traversed glamour, pain, evolution. Through everything, he's proven true artists evolve ceaselessly.